Hello, wine lovers! I am Miroslava, sommelier and wine educator, your guide on this journey through the world of wines, spirits, and cocktails. With this video, I continue my series on Greek viniculture. In the first episode, I explored the history of Greek winemaking, its modern wine regulations, and the distinctive character of Retsina, Greece's most iconic wine. The second episode focused on Santorini, the Aegean island renowned for its ancient vineyards and extraordinary viniculture, which dates back thousands of years. You can find the links in the first comment. Today, let's turn our attention to Crete, the island where Greek viniculture originated and where the modern Renaissance is especially remarkable. European viniculture began in Greece, and Greece itself traces its roots to a Minoan civilization, which was centered on Crete. Cretans started making wine at least 5,000 years ago. As is often the case with history, the older the fact, the less precise the date. Archaeological excavations on the island have uncovered extensive evidence of early viniculture, wine presses, amphorae with identifiable traces of wine, and ancient cellars. The oldest discovered wine press, found in the Tipetica near Heraklion, is 3,500 years old. Painting in the Palace of Knossos depicts scenes of winemaking and wine drinking, and its vast cellars were once filled with amphorae. Cretan wine was not only popular on the island, but also far beyond. Amphorae bearing Cretan insignia have been found throughout the Mediterranean basin. Cretan wines were even delivered to Egyptian pharaohs. Palace painting depicts scenes of Cretan ships arriving and being unloaded. One amphora containing 3,000-year-old wine was even recovered from the sunken ship. In the 2nd century AD, Greece came under Roman rule. With the Roman Empire's enormous demand for wine, Crete was transformed into a vast Roman vineyard. The island became a major exporter of rich, sweet wine known as Apratropos, which was highly valued by both Romans and Greeks. With the rise of Christianity and under Byzantine rule, Crete's viniculture declined slightly. However, in 1205, the island, like Santorini, fell under Venetian control, and its wine industry flourished once again. For over 400 years, Crete exported a famous sweet Malvasia di Candia across Europe, including to major cities like London, Paris, and Constantinople. The situation changed when the Ottoman Empire took control. With its addition of alcohol, Ottoman rule led to the decline of Crete's viniculture. Unlike Santorini, Crete did not receive special permission for wine production, and like much of Greece, its winemaking industry withered. After gaining independence from the Ottomans, Crete began restoring its vineyards and even started gaining recognition for its wine. However, the turmoil of the 20th century, wars and economic crises hindered its progress. By the 1980s, Greece's wine industry, including Crete's, was in decline. It was not until Greece joined the European economic that the need for competitiveness revived its viniculture, setting the stage for its modern resurgence. Crete's climate is ideal for viniculture. The island stretches along from west to east, forming the southern edge of the Aegean Sea. While its southern side is exposed to hot African winds, a higher mountain ridge runs through the island, dividing it to northern and southern regions. Vineyards are primarily located on the northern side, where they are sheltered from the intense south heat and cooled by the refreshing winds of the Aegean Sea. Most vineyards sit at an elevation of 500 meters and higher, providing the necessary coolness to preserve grape acidity. There are 3 key winemaking regions on the island: the Central region, home of Pidio, Daphne, Pisa, and Archanis; the East region, which includes Pidio City; the Western region, which, while not hosting a Pidio, has a growing winemaking presence. Beyond this Pidio appellation, Crete also featured 6 PGI regions: Chania, Rethymna, Lassiti, Kisamas, Heraklion, and Crete itself. Crete has preserved many unique local grape varieties since ancient times. Even those that were also found elsewhere in Greece has developed a distinct characteristic due to centuries of isolation. During the early years of Crete's modern wine renaissance, many winemakers who had studied on Europe returned with knowledge, but also with international grape varieties, which were initially favored over indigenous ones. However, it did not take long for Crete, like the rest of the Greece, to realize that its global reputation would be better built on the exclusive native grapes. As a result, winemakers shifted their focus back to local varieties, often blending them successfully with international grapes. Noble Cretan grape varieties. White grapes. Villano. The start of Crete's white varieties. It produces light, aromatic wines with good acidity, making it a perfect choice for a hot summer day. Vidiana. A grape known for its full-bodied, rich and buttery wines with a bright apricot aromas. The Vidiana I tasted feels surprisingly full-bodied despite being only 12%. It also has a smoothness evidence of malolactic fermentation, for of none was used. Vidiana is often called the Greek Viognier. Daphne. Produces light white wines with a rare oral aroma, hence its name, which means laurel in Greek. Muscat of Spina. A local muscat clone with very high acidity and exceptionally thin skin. It creates refreshing, delicately aromatic dry wines. Malvasia dicandia. A clone of Malvasia that once drove Crete worldwide fame during the Middle Ages. Today it is used for both dry and sweet aromatic wines. Clita. An ancient variety that was nearly extinct but was recently being introduced with promising results. Red grapes. Liatica. A fascinating variety with relatively low pigments, resulting in pale-colored wines. It has moderate and very soft tannins, but higher sugar content, leading to higher alcohol levels. At the same time, its naturally higher acidity keeps the wine fresh. Liatica offers bright aromas of red fruits, figs, nuts, and leaf. With skilled winemaking, it produces a full-bodied yet refreshing wine. Cacephali. A soft, low-tannin, high-alcohol wine with sherry and prune aromas, often linked to the Greek Merlot. It thrives particularly well in the central region of the island, including Pidiopeza and Nachanis. Mandillari. A native Cretan variety known for its high tannins and robust structure. It is often used in blends to add body and depth. Rameyka. An endogenous Greek variety found on Crete and several Cycladic islands. Its name means from Greece. Rameyka is high yield and late ripening, with a higher sugar level, but result its naturally higher alcohol wines. One of its unusual traits is a weak and unstable pigmentation. Even within the same wine, grape cluster can vary in color. Rameyka is used to produce red, white, and rosé wines, for today it is often blended with other varieties that offer more complexity. Until recently, Rameyka was a dominant variety of the Crete, particularly in the Chania region. Traditionally, it was used to make a high alcohol wine similar to sherry. Marovas undergoes prolonged aging in large barrels, with a new wine added each year to replenish the supply. This process results in significant oxidation, giving the wine a distinct character. Now let's talk about some Crete's wineries. I won't go in detail about every wine they produce, but I will share their general approach to winemaking, my impressions, a few unusual or particularly noteworthy wines. If you are interested in more in-depth analysis of the wines, check out my article, link in the first comment. Titakis Winery, Pidiopeza. Located in the heart of Pidiopeza, Titakis is family-run winery founded in the mid-20th century, now managed by the third generation of winemakers. I had a fascinating and insightful conversation with Maria Titakis, the owner and winemaker, about grape varieties, winemaking techniques, and future plans. I also got a behind-the-scenes look of a winery. Titakis cultivates both local and international grape varieties, crafting interesting blends. Their portfolio includes a wide range of wines, whites, rosés, and reds, ranging from light, young, and refreshing to full-bodied, mature, and complex. A couple of particularly interesting wines from a technological perspective. Moscato Spinas. A light and refreshing wine, intentionally crafted to be delicate. Given the hot climate, maintaining good acidity and a moderate alcohol level can be challenging. To achieve this balance, the winery harvests Muscat grapes early, by mid-August, just when those lose the grassy taste of a ripe fruit. The result is a beautiful aromatic wine with the notes of roses, lemon blossom, mint, and green apples. Asterosa Rosé, a blend of Indiana 80% and Syrah 20%, combining a white and red grape in an unconventional way. Traditionally, rosé is made from red grapes with color and tannins levels controlled by skin maceration time before fermentation. In the case of sparkling rosé, red and white wines are blended post-fermentation. However, fermenting red and white grapes together is rare, but not unheard of. This technique allows for a unique fusion of aromas that would not normally be found at the same wine. I previously discussed a similar Spanish winemaking style, Claretti, in my video about Claret. I really enjoyed the certain Cretan version. It is a medium-boiled rosé with refreshing acidity, high minerality, and aromas of red fruits, citrus, herbs, and spices. As a matter of fact, plenty of good different rosés are made on Crete. They are excellent alternative to heavy reds, especially in Crete's hot summers. They pair beautifully with lamb. Lilarakis Winery. Located further south, Lilarakis is a winery designed to accommodate a higher volume of visitors. It boasts a large, elegant tasting room, but there is no direct access to a making process or an opportunity to speak with winemakers in depth. Instead, let staff bring your wines on your table and read description from a list. If you are looking for a relaxing setting to enjoy wine with friends, this is a great spot. However, if you are seeking deeper insight into the making process, this may not be the place. That said, their wines are absolutely worth trying. Lilarakis is a large winery that works with a diverse range of grape varieties, primarily local with few international ones. They produce both single varietal wines and blends. One particularly interesting wine I tried was the 8-year-old single varietal Mandillari. Mandillari is known for its higher tannins as is rarely used to single varietal wines. However, for this wine, the grapes are grown in a variation of 500 meters in a vineyard with extremely low yields, resulting in intensely concentrated wine. It requires long aging, but the end result is bold, deeply structured, and full of mature tannins. A fascinating example of what is power variety can achieve under the right conditions. Toplu Monastery Winery, City, Eastern Crete. Toplu is a functioning monastery founded in the 14th century, with a long and turbulent history of destruction, restoration, and resistance against various occupiers. All over the century, it has also played a crucial role in preserving Cretan culture. Like many Greek European monasteries, Toplu monks have cultivated vines and produced wine for their own needs for centuries. By the 1990s, the monastery still owned vineyards with a high quality old wines. Recognizing their potential, Abbot Philotelos Panoudakis established a modern winery, which today produces some truly outstanding wines. The city region is famous for Liatica, and the location of the monastery provides the ideal condition for this grape. Here, at the far east end of the island, the protected mountains are lower, exposing the vineyards to hotter winds from Africa. At the same time, the soil is poor, perfect for high-quality grape cultivation. However, cooling winds from the Aegean Sea help maintain acidity, allowing Liatica to develop both high sugar concentration and aromatic complexity. The monastery produces both dry and sweet wines from Liatica. Sweet Liatica, made by sun-dried grapes after harvest. This process increases the sugar concentration so much that the fermentation stops naturally before all sugar is converted into alcohol, resulting in a naturally sweet wine. Dry Liatica, full-bodied yet fresh and aromatic, with a light and elegant taste despite its depth. Gravitakis Vineyard, Chania, western end of Ireland. A family winery, now on its fourth generation, Gravitakis Vineyard has been revitalizing under the leadership of Manolis Gravitakis. After studying in Venice and Italy, Manolis introduced modern winemaking techniques while reaffirming the importance of the local Cretan grape varieties. He skillfully integrates these endogenous varieties with international ones, producing wines that are not only exceptional, but also deeply rooted to Cretan terroir. Our conversation about Cretan viniculture was both engaging and informative. I left with a double satisfaction from wine and from discussion. Among the highlights, the best Muscat I tried on Crete, Moscato Spinas from old vines grown on 400 meters. A beautifully delicate and aromatic wine, incredibly refreshing, with an elegance and completely masked the 13.5% of alcohol. is an ideal expression of Muscat, perfectly showcasing what Crete can offer. Elia 2016, a blend of Syrah, Grenache, and Carignan, reminiscence of Languedoc-style wines. The vineyard that produced the grapes for this wine is located on a hill near the legendary 3,000-year-old olive tree of Auvergne. The yield is kept exceptionally low, below 2.5 kg per vine, which results in a deeply concentrated wine. Each grape variety is aged separately for 12 months in French oak, and the final blend is meticulously adjusted each year based on taste. A stunning wine, rich and beautifully structured. Morose. I also had a chance to try the traditional sun-dried Jamaica dessert wine, which I previously mentioned. A fascinating example of Crete's historical winemaking tradition. Manusakis Winery. The second winery in the Hania region is Manusakis Winery, whose main wine lines is called Nostos, meaning returning home. The story behind this winery is remarkable. Ted Manusakis, its founder, was born in Crete, but moved to the USA as a child. After building a successful career in the industry unrelated to wine, he found himself longing to his homeland. In 1993, he returned to Crete and planted his first wines, not personally, of course, but with a dedicated team of experts. His winemaker chose southern French grape varieties, Syrah, Grenache, Mourvèdre, and Roussanne, which remain the core of the winery's production today, though some Greek varieties has been added over time. Much like Lyrarakis, the tasting group of Manusakis is designed to relax enjoyment rather than to in-depth discussion with a winemaker. It is a wonderful place for a leisure drink in a picturesque setting, but not ideal for those seeking detailed techniques inside. That said, the wines are undoubtedly excellent, even though they don't fully capture the uniqueness of Cretan terroir. Two wines stood out, the classic South Front style blends. GSM, Grenache Syrah Mourvèdre blend. Full-bodied, intense, yet soft and aromatic. Old aging provides great structure, where flavors black fruit, liver, and ripe tannins create a rich, layered experience. GSM with Roussanne. Everything I loved about the previous wine, but with added a complexity from Roussanne. This variety introducing elegance, floral, and honey notes, enriching the blend and making it even more intriguing. A truly beautiful wine. As Crete's wine scene continues to evolve, the island is becoming an increasingly attractive destination for wine lovers. Its unique grape varieties, combined with modern expertise and century-old tradition, makes this region worth exploring. So keep an eye out for Cretan wine in your local store, and if you ever visit the island, make sure to dedicate time to discovering its wineries. You won't be disappointed. I have today Creticas with Diana Villana, PGI Crete 2024 Boutari. Boutari Winery, one of the oldest and biggest Greek winemakers. Their first vineyard was founded in 1879 by Tianis Boutari in Naosia, Macedonia. Now we have 7 vineyards in all main vinicultural Greek regions, including Santorini and Crete. We have one now in France. Cretan Vineyards was founded in 2004. It's located from several kilometers from Greek capital Heraklion, near Knossos Palace. Diana Villana is a classic Cretan white blend. Let's try. This one for you, this one for me. Bright aroma of white flowers and citruses. Nice refreshing acidity, aroma of pineapple, grapefruit, mango. Very good balance, nice long after taste. Nice summer wine. Very good on its own, but also will be a good pair for white fish and shrimps. This concludes the story of wines of Crete. Following video in the Greek series will be about viniculture of the mainland Greece. Stay with me, subscribe to my channel. Feel free to ask questions and don't hesitate to support me. Au revoir!